What's up, guys? I am here today to give you my Atlanta survival guide. I have officially survived living in this state for 6 years. Part of me just wants to say hell, y'all. But I have survived in this state for 6 years. It has been hard, but I feel like I am now at a point where I've kind of mastered living here. So I am able to now give out advice as to how to survive with the cost of living, just the increase of food, whatever it is, finding a job, finding friends, all that stuff. I'm going to talk about that in today's videos. But before we get into anything, if you guys have yet to do so, go ahead and check that notification bell out. That way you're notified whenever I post. Hit that subscribe button, check out some of my other content, and let's get into it. Now, before I moved to Atlanta, I felt like my vision for moving here was impossible. Like, I feel like it was just so out of reach. And the reason why is because the cost of living. At the time, I had a car, but it wasn't the most reliable car. The thing about living here is that you do have to have money. A lot of things are far away from each other, so you do have to have gas. The cost of living is expensive everywhere. It doesn't even matter where you live, but here it's a little bit more expensive than it is in some states. So yes, so I would say that the first thing that you want to make sure that you do when you are living here is obviously to have a stable career or stable job. So this is not the kind of place that you can come to, I feel like, and live here and just not have a job, or you work like the bare minimum job and just get on by. No, I feel like when you move here, you need to have somewhat of an idea as to why you are here, or what you want to do, or what your stable job is. And I'm not going to be one of those basic people that tell you, oh, you need to be a business owner, or you need to go back to school, because that's not for everyone. But just have a solid job. I don't care what it is that you do. If you're working at the mall or if you're busting tables, just have a stable job. That way you have money coming in, because with the cost of living here, it's easy to fall behind on whatever it is that you have going on. So just make sure that you stay on top of working, find yourself a stable job. There's always jobs out here hiring. Indeed.com is my favorite place on earth. I'm always on there, even though I have a job. I'm always just looking because I'm curious. So yes, I would say that is the most important thing for me. Now, the second thing that I'm going to talk about kind of ties into the whole having a stable job thing. And that is just making sure that you actually connect with the people that you work with, or just connect with people in general. I feel like it's important here, and what's helped me is just to have a village. It's important to have people around you that have a clear vision of what they want out of life, because it opens doors for you too. If you work at a job, you might be able to ask your friend, okay, like, I don't know too much about this, and they can teach you something. That way you can get better at your job. Or if you have connections and you do decide to start a business, you can have friends that can help you promote your business and things like that. Just have connections, just because, again, Georgia is really big. There's so much to do, and it's okay to do things alone. I love doing things alone too, but just having those connections, I feel like, has just made the process so much better for me. Several jobs that I have gotten have been through people that I've worked with prior to where I am now. Like, oh, I've befriended this person. I have their number. I need a new job. I can text them. Do you know somewhere that's hiring? Is your job hiring? I've done the same thing. Just having that village and just having those connections has just been extremely important for me. Staying in line of what you want and not what everybody else wants here in Georgia, because it's so easy to be influenced. I feel like this is just a state where, like, a lot of people move to. A lot of celebrities live here, a lot of influencers and things in that nature. So just don't be too overly influenced to the fact where you're going broke trying to keep up with the Joneses. Like, it's easy to see all these nice cars and these nice houses and stuff like that, but just stay humble enough till you're able to actually afford those things, instead of, like, being out and trying to, like, make yourself go broke because you want to look like I was about to say Young Thug, because who wouldn't look like Young Thug? But just, you want to look like your favorite rapper, like T.I., Young Jeezy, or somebody like that. Like, just be you, do you. Your journey is your journey. Don't compare it to anybody else's. Just stay in your lane until you can pretty much get the life that you want. That's been important for me, just because, honestly, and I'm just going to be real transparent in this moment, there's a lot of beautiful women here. And I mean that physically, like, they have a lot of money, big booties, all kinds of stuff. But what I've never done is just looked at someone and been like, oh my gosh, I want that. Because I've always just reminded myself, I am who I am. They are who they are. So I'm going to stay looking the way that I am. A lot of people, they'll let social media and wherever they live or their friend groups convince them that they need to look a certain kind of way. So just don't be too overly influenced. I feel like that's been an issue with just some people that tend to move here. So that was what, number 3. Number 4 of my Atlanta survival guide is going to be staying in tune with my family and where I come from. Never forget where you come from. Now, one thing that's important to me is I try to go home multiple times a year. If I can't do that, I'm always on the phone with my family and stuff like that. I've just seen people, and you guys might know someone personally who has done this, but has moved away and they're just completely MIA. Like, you never hear from them anymore. It's like they were born in that state. They never talk about their hometown. They almost look down on their hometown. Look, baby, I am from Cleveland, Ohio, and I am very proud of that. Whenever I meet people, I'm always bragging about it. Like, I'm from Ohio because that's where I love and that's where I live. And to say that, I mean that it has helped me survive, because I feel like you need that support. You know what I mean? You make your friends and those new connections wherever it is that you live, but family is important. And it's just important for me personally to just remember where I have come from, my roots, go back there sometimes, come back. It's just nice to have like that balance. It's almost like you have 2 homes to a degree. So keep up with your family and friends. Obviously, if it's not one-sided, yeah, just keep it up with my friends and my family up for where I'm from has really helped me. So another thing that I want to talk about is credit. Credit is really important here in Georgia, as far as applying for an apartment. And you know what? I don't even want to say just here in Georgia. I feel like in general, there's been like this crazy thing that's just where you have to make 4 times the rent in order for you to live somewhere or something like that. Most apartments that you come across here, they're not accepting. Like, I know in Ohio, you might be able to find a private landlord or something like that. Here, it's kind of rare. I feel like at some point I was looking for a private landlord. I feel like it's not as common as it is in Ohio. So just make sure that you have, you know, a decent credit. I'm not going to sit up here and tell y'all to have an 800 credit score, because I don't. But just making sure you keep off those collections and things like that, because if you are planning to move here, that is something that they are going to pay attention to when you are applying for these houses and these apartments. And last but not least, I really wanted to keep this video really short, but move to a place where you can actually afford to live. It is so easy to become influenced here, like I said, because there's so many options, especially as far as apartments. I have not gotten to the point in my life yet where I have seriously started looking into buying a house. But so most of my experience has been renting apartments. But there's options, y'all. I mean, like, just look at my other videos. I do apartment lists all the time. There is a long list of options. And some of those options might be out of your budget. So just, again, going back to that being humble. Be humble, look at what you can afford, because what you don't want to do is move somewhere and you're kicked out the next month, or you can't afford to pay your rent, or you can afford to pay your rent, but you can't afford to pay anything else. So you're missing out on the whole experience, just because there's so much to do in Atlanta, like as far as like eating and different parks and different shopping plazas, and the list goes on. So just making sure that, you know, you actually get the full experience, and you have to do that sometimes. It requires money. It requires for you to have money. So just stay within your financial level. I know things are beautiful here. I would love for me to be right now in a 4-bedroom, 2-bath too. But, you know, it's baby steps. Just do it when the time is right. So comment below if you guys can relate to this video at all, or if you guys want to see me do some other content. Check out some of my other videos. Follow me on Instagram, y'all, as well as TikTok. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you lovelies next time. Bye.